You guys cleaned? Let's see. Let's see if I can get you guys cleaned up. Alright. How's that look? Hey guys, welcome back. Today, this is going to be a short video because I'm not, we're not doing a whole lot out here. It's really rainy and stuff, but I wanted to show you guys something. So if you live in Tennessee, guys, and you're trying to like identify some trees, I'm gonna go over a couple with you that we have here on our land. There's a lot of trees here in Tennessee, but I'm gonna go over a couple of them with you. But right behind me, right here, guys, this is a white oak tree. The way that I tell that it's a white oak tree is because out of the oak tree family, this one has kind of a shaggy bark look to it, and it's also really gray, as you guys can see. The bark is really kind of looks like it's a shagbark hickory tree, but it's not. You could, on some of the white oak trees, you could mistake these as a shagbark hickory tree, but if you don't have leaves on it and you don't have any acorns on it, the best way to tell these trees is to look at the bark on them and see it from there. So you've got a grayer bark on the white oak trees than you would a red oak and a black oak or chestnut oak. Chestnut oak is one of the harder ones to look at and be able to find. I don't think I have any of those around here. So get another tree right here. This is a black oak, red oak. Black oak is considered is a part of the red oak family, so they're really, there is a difference to it, the bark on them, the way they look, but they're still a part of the same family. So black oak, one good way of telling that you're cutting a black oak down is the smell of it. It has a very sour smell, where white oak has a very sweet smell. Chestnut oak has, I believe, it's a little bit in between the smell of the white oak and red oak. It's got kind of a sweeter sour smell, but the bark on it is a lot different than a white oak. As you guys can see, this is not kind of like a shaggy bark type deal, but this is I believe this is a black oak tree, guys. So part of the red oak tree family. So if you said red oak, it's not going to be wrong. So let's see what else we can find out here. All right, guys, so going back to what we were talking about yesterday with the lines inside the wood and the grain of the wood. Right here I've got a white oak and I've got a red oak right behind me, and I'm going to show you guys where both of these oak trees have the grains, and I'm also going to show you where the other trees do not have the grains. So take a look. All right, so this is a white oak tree, guys, and as you guys can see, this tree has these lines that run through it. Okay, and that right there is how you can decipher by the actual log that you have a oak tree. And this right here is a red oak tree, guys, and you see that the red oak tree has those lines in it. So that is a good way to decipher what type of tree you guys have, because only oak trees do this. So let's go take a look at another different type of species of tree. All right, guys, so we're back over here with a different type of tree. If I can find one, where did it go? I think it's underneath. Okay, here's one right here. Okay, so all right, so as you guys can see, this right here, sorry it's a little dirty, this right here is a red maple tree. The insides were starting to rot out, but as you guys can see, again, it does not have the lines as the oak tree does. It does have the rings, but it does not have the lines as oak tree does. And right here, this right here is a tulip poplar. As you can see, this one also does not have the lines like the oak tree does. These are considered a hardwood in North America, but they are not as dense as an oak or as a hickory or a Osage orange or a burdock, as some people would call it. But you can see this does not have those lines in it, so that makes this, you can tell that this is not an oak tree. All right, so I'm back over here with another standing tree. Uh, looking at trees that are standing and they don't have no leaves or anything on them is the hardest to identify what kind of tree you have here. So what I look at is I kind of look at bark, and I look at how the tree is formed. Most, like this tree behind me, this is a tulip poplar tree. Tulip poplar is a hardwood in North America. It's actually the Tennessee state tree, and their bark is pretty distinctive. When they get bigger, they can resemble an ash tree. I don't think they have as deep of grooves as an ash tree, but they grow really tall and really straight and really fast. And as I said, they are considered a hardwood in North America, but for burning, they're not the greatest for burning. They will burn and they will put off some heat, but they burn really fast. So if you've got some on your property and you're wanting to burn it, it does burn. It dries fast, 6 months roughly, and they're easy to cut up. They're fast cutting. You can use them. So all right, guys, now I'm on to the next tree, guys. This one is probably the easiest tree other than a sycamore tree to know what it is. And I'll let you guys take a guess. This is an American birch tree, an excellent firewood tree. But the way I tell that it's a birch tree is, one, the bark is really smooth, and it's January and it's still got its leaves on it. They're dead, but it still has its leaves on it. And I can almost guarantee you that just about every birch tree on this property is probably going to have its leaves on it. There's one right back there. There's one, if you can tell, right back in there. And then there's one way back in there. They all have their leaves on it. So if you're looking for birch trees, you need to identify a birch tree, guys. Just look for the leaves. I mean, they're still on it. It's the middle of January. It's been cold. We've had a really bad freeze in the negatives, and it still has its leaves on it. So let's go to the next one. Okay, guys. So on to the next tree. So this tree right here. This is a soft red maple tree. It's probably one of the harder ones for myself to decipher from any other types of maples, but if you pick the bark away, you can kind of see a little bit of red in it. And you can look at the way that it grows. The bark is not as it's not as detailed as a standard like an oak tree or a poplar tree or a birch tree. This, on our property, we can really kind of tell this one from other ones because we only have so many species out here, and it stands out compared to the other ones. So I'll get it up close for you guys. You guys can tell, this is a soft maple. Not the greatest for firewood. It's a soft wood, so you're probably not going to want to use it for firewood. But like I said, guys, look, there's a birch tree right behind me, and the leaves are still on it. So all right, on to the next one. Okay, guys, so we're coming up on a pine tree. Their bark is very distinctive. It's not like any other that I have seen. I mean, you can really tell a pine tree. It is flaky, and obviously, guys, it also emits sap. It can be burned. It needs to dry, but it can be burned. A lot of I think it's the West, they burn a lot of pine. So if you got some pine tree, guys, if you cut it down, you can burn. Just make sure it's good and dry. So, but pine trees, they're very easy to spot. As for, let's see if I can find some. Well, there's no needles around here. It's not that time of the year yet, but if you need to find pine trees, just look at the leaves on it. They stay green most of the year, and they're just long, straight needles. So that's how you'll decipher the pine. All right, guys, so this is probably one of my most favorite trees. I really enjoy finding these trees because the wood is so beautiful. This is a black cherry tree. We don't have a whole lot of them on our land. There's very few, and they're all really small like this one. But if you look at the bark, you can see there's little lines. Sorry, no focus is bad, but there's little bitty lines in the bark, and it's really flaky. The bark is, really flaky. It comes off pretty easily. You can really decipher this tree from oak trees and maples and stuff. And plus, when you cut it in there, it's got a reddish brownish center. It's almost like orange looking center. So but this is a cherry tree, a black cherry tree, guys. All right, guys, that's the trees that we have around here, and that's how I decipher what a tree is, guys. With no leaves being on the trees, it's really hard. But through a lot of research, guys, I've learned most of the trees, and I'm not a tree expert, guys. So if you've gotten to this point and you're like thinking like, oh, he's wrong, that's this, guys, I'm not a tree expert. I'm just trying to to maybe help somebody in the world that may not know what their tree is they're looking for. Because when I got here and I was trying to figure out what trees we had here, I had the hardest time finding something out that was really, just down to earth, easy. Hey, this is what kind of tree. Sorry, I'm climbing over trees. Down to earth. That this is what this tree is, or this is what that tree is. And that's why I'm making this video, so you guys can know, hey, do I have a tulip poplar? Yeah, this is a tulip poplar, and this is what it looks like when it is in the winter. So guys, if you like the video, if you want to see more of what we have, guys, we've got 30 something videos on our channel. Go back and check our what we're doing out here, and hit that subscribe button, guys. Every subscribe counts. Every subscribe helps us get to the goal of having a successful YouTube channel, guys. So we'll see you guys on the next one.